to 2 positive%, whereas I was -2 last turn. But the reason I did that is I went ahead and built the ironworks. Now, I could have gone and just built the 2 ironworks, one in New York City, one in Philadelphia. I went with the 5, though, and here's why. As I will show you here, at least for the time being, my ironworks are making a $1 and 8 ore supply a turn. I'm burning through war supply like nothing right now. So not only do I want to have a surplus amount of war supply so I can get that extra $50 a turn, but I want to be able to sustain building artillery and more ships and ironclads, and I just simply will not be able to sustain that without more ironworks, it looks like. So with only 2, yeah, it's only $200, but I'm only going to get 16 war supply a turn from these 2. Whereas here, you know, I can get the, what is that, 40? Yeah, 40 war supply a turn from the 5 to start, right? And then depending on how your national morale is and loyalty and all that stuff, sometimes those numbers can go up a little bit as well. But right now, my baseline for most of my ironworks is $1 and then 8 war supply per turn. So I went ahead, built that. Obviously, initial cost very high, but if you build these early enough, in this case in 1861, then you will definitely get your monies back and more sooner rather than later in the game. So that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm also doing it on the buttresses of winter, right? Because during the winter, there's not a whole lot of things I can do anyways operationally across the theater. There's a few areas, but not very many. And then the reverse is also true for him. There's not a whole lot of things he can do during winter. And so the likelihood of him exploiting the fact that I spent money on my industry as opposed to more soldiers and cavalry and artillery is a little bit lessened. Next thing I want to point out here is for our conscripts. So last turn we were getting from cities 104. Now we're getting 111. And that's because we now have a third conscript recruiter going. Put Burnside over here in Boston, so now we're getting 111 instead of 104. So I just wanted to show you the difference on that. And then finally, with regards to us sending our supply ships or transports down to the supply lanes, we got 43 cash this turn instead of 30. Or sorry, 34 instead of 30. But they also did just arrive there, so I don't know if I got the full amount from that. I'm also sending another 7 transports down there this turn. So hopefully this money is going to be up close to around 50 when it's all said and done. Another thing I wanted to show here, let's go to the state screen. So in Springfield, the armories will be done in 6 days. So this is for Massachusetts, and then Rhode Island down here in Province, and then finally Vermont in Springfield. Now the reason I bring that up, if you remember why I built those, was we're under the New England screen, right? So you can see we can build Rhode Island and Vermont foot soldiers, infantry, but we cannot do that with artillery. That's all we can do with artillery right now. So I want to see if if this test is true, that if we build arsenals in these states, that'll unlock the ability to build artillery for Vermont and Rhode Island. We'll see. I have never really paid too much close attention to it in the past. This is the first time I'm experimenting with it. So let's see if that is the case. Alright, let's go over movements just really quick. Just loading up McClellan with a whole bunch of militia and conscripts to train up. So as you see, he's got 264 power of troops here. So just a whole bunch, move more in, and we're just going to be doing that all winter. He's got a 1,400 power force in Manassas, and then 782 under Johnston. We'll have about a 700 in Harper's Ferry, 1,100 in Alexandria. And then of note, very interesting, I want to point this out. So I sent a brig up the river here on green evade to avoid whatever artillery he has there, and then whatever artillery he might have here. He has like nothing in Richmond, which is interesting. I'm like half tempted to like put a division together and like land here. I'm gonna strongly consider doing that in the winter. We'll see. Might be risky, I don't know, or maybe I'll just put it in Fort Monroe and push up just to force him to pull some guys back, or maybe I'll do that in conjunction with the frontal here in the spring. We'll see. over here in Missouri, he knows I'm coming. He already said, hey, it looks like you're putting a lot of troops over towards Springfield. I am. I'm putting like everything here. So in early October, we can create divisions. So I'm going to create my divisions this next turn here and then immediately move an attack. We did get Grant this turn, so that's good. So let's find Grant. Here we go. He's a 2-star. Oops. He's 5 strategic, 6 offensive, 4 defense, so I'll have him lead the attack. I should have enough CP for him and probably 3 divisions of troops without going over the cap. We'll see. Mainly because he has the CP bonus, plus I'll have a headquarters built into it as well. And then he also has Siege Expert. So these are the two abilities that he has at the moment. So it'll be him, Lions, Hooker, and Porter, I believe. Porter will be the other general. Where are you at? Yeah, Porter, 314, but I got a 4 attack with Hooker. And only a 2, but still, you know, if I can make him a core commander, that 5 strategic rating really makes him a worthwhile general to have. So what does he have? So it's interesting, right? So he's got a fairly robust stack here. I mean, he's got 400. He's got 103 power brigade, which means he's got artillery in that brigade, and then an 87 and 86. So basically 5 decent brigades here, and then some throwaway defenders. Those are militia, and then another battery. So he's got at least 2 artillery pieces here. And then Winder's not a bad. Winder and Evans are both 2 defense generals, so that's pretty good, especially early game to have that. So it's not going to be the easiest battle to win, but here's why I have hope. And this is kind of why I pushed like I did over here. When he brought Price up the west here with the stack that he had, and then me seeing Shelby out in the far west, I had a suspicion that he was kind of spread out and he didn't consolidate everything in Springfield. Now, it's quite possible he's got a force down here, down in this area along the Mississippi, and I'm a little concerned about that, honestly, because all that I have standing between him and Cairo is this little Navy fleet here, which he's got a fleet down here, and or around here, and he could push that fleet into me and probably take me out until I can get my ironclads complete. And I'm stripping Cairo pretty significantly to make this attack, because I want to make sure it succeeds. So all I have sitting behind is these guys and then a few others that I have coming in. So it's a little dangerous. I'm going to try and do it really quickly, right? So hopefully I can hit Springfield as soon as possible and then shift everything back. I might shift a few more forces over to Cairo just to help provide some defense to it. But he's got almost 300 power over here. So as you can see, another brigade that has artillery in it, the 101, and then a lot of cavalry. But then a 171 down here. So he's kind of spread out, and I'm hoping that having Sumner here with his stack of about close to 300 when it's all said and done, in between him and the river, which I'm hoping I can get here before he crosses, will cause him to not reinforce. Either 1, not reinforce, or 2, just not reinforce it as much as he would otherwise. So I'm trying to get in between him with these Rangers just to make it a little harder for him to reinforce Springfield. And there should be a battle here in Springfield in late October. Hopefully, that late October battle happens before the winter hits. Because that will significantly affect our ability to win. Although I do have a ton of supply wagons that I'm moving up there. I've got these 2, and then I think I've got another 4 connected to Lion. So we won't be lacking in supplies. I'm just worried about that attrition if the winter hits before I have a chance to take out. Yeah, so I got 3 here. So I'll have 5 supply wagons. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen. Probably the next turn we'll make that movement towards Springfield. I'm really hoping I can get down here between him and Springfield before he has a chance to. Although we are moving a little slow. If we're moving this slow, I hope it means he's going to move that slow as well to try and get across, because he's not even moving yet. I'm at least already moving towards there. Far west, he hasn't taken the fort down here yet, although it looks like he might, because it looks like there is a, it's totally breached, so there's no wall anymore, and obviously we don't have much in the way of forces to protect. He did burn this place down here, though, interestingly. The capital of Arizona. So I can move pretty soon. I'm not going to just yet, because he could always turn around with this guy and come at me. So I'm just going to reinforce here for a while. We've got 2 supply wagons coming down, plus I got a size 2 depot up here now. Look at the supplies already pretty significantly up. And one thing I just discovered here, so notice these single individual chit infantry. You can combine them with a naval sailor. So this guy combined with a naval sailor. So that might be the one way we can supplement our army over in California, to build the Navy sailors and stack them with these guys. Because I also found out on the other end, this is something new to me, I hadn't learned this before. Your Marines, your elite Marines, can team up with single unit elite infantry. So I stacked these guys. So that's a pretty impressive force, a 2-element force that already has 89 power. So pretty cool. Alright, and then otherwise, as far as builds are concerned, I put some into the replacements this turn. Not too much, because we're still doing pretty well on that. I put one into my ships. And I'm a little behind on that just because of the war supply. I built a second boat, or a second ironclad. So that's in production. I'm probably going to do that every turn, build one a turn for the next couple months at least, because I want to have control of the river come, early 62. We have the opportunity, if we want, to requisition river transports, which we will not, because it costs you pretty significantly on the national morale. I think it's like 5, I think. Oh. All that happens is increased inflation. Anyways. We don't have to worry about that, though, because we're not hurting too bad on the river stuff. Like I said, building ironworks, and then intervention of Kentucky. This is what I was talking about, the national morale. We could, if we wanted, invade Kentucky, but it's going to cost us 5 morale and then 30 victory points. It's just not worth it, right? Especially since we got everything committed against Springfield. And even if I don't, it's just not worth the 5 national morale. Okay. Oh, and then the final thing here is I'm just building a fort right here at the end of the rail line, just in case. I mean, I think it's good to have, even if you take Springfield as a union, because it just connects Springfield to St. Louis. It's a nice continuity there. But also, I'm doing this instead of using the supply wagon, because supply wagons are significantly expensive, and these are only 10 conscripts, and I don't need to build one anywhere else this year. So. Alright, so I think that covers everything. Let's see if anything else in the comments is worth discussing or going over. Okay, so here's to hoping that he doesn't make a move on Cairo. Like I said, I might see if I can't move some forces from like West Virginia over to Cairo temporarily, just to provide that support. And then let me get this turn back to Josh, and he's going to do his thing, get it to me, and we'll take it from there. Okay, early October 61, we can create divisions now. We've got some new units in the battlefield. We're about to have a battle, so finally stuff is picking up here. First off, let me just show you, I got several new elite divisions slash brigades. For example, here, Excelsior the brigade. It's got a sharpshooter in there. Also some elite infantry. Got Philadelphia brigade. Also got sharpshooter and elite infantry. So I want to say, and then I got one out in the west as well. So I think we're up to like 5. I think 5 elements or brigades that have elite units in them. Right now, I'm just kind of throwing them at the front. So I'm throwing them in with McDowell Hamilton, up in Harper's Ferry, and then over at Cairo and St. Louis, just for the time being. I'm not going to be doing much over the winter time, so but I will have to figure out come spring of 62 how I want to best utilize those forces and really kind of figure out how my disposition is going to be. So for example here, we can create brigades now, or rather divisions. So I've got not quite 3 full divisions here, but they're crappy generals, right? They're 3-1. 3-1-1s. They're just turned them into division commanders. That's why their stats went down just for this turn. So really at this point I'm just trying to ensure I can maintain the front, and I'm not concerned too much with how these units are looking as far as who's in what and who's leading them. But come the spring, obviously that'll be a very different story, and I will have definitely a very methodical approach to how I want my divisions created and who will be leading them, both at the corps level as well as the division level. Alright, so we lost morale because of the Manassas event. We haven't taken Manassas yet. I think he took the fort out here. Yeah, so we killed 1,300 guys. Actually, that's a pretty good amount, but we ended up surrendering. So it wasn't surprising. He was going to take that. Well, actually, he didn't take it. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, well, we're still holding on, so there's that. Another papers on lack of immediate offensive. So the forward to Richmond chant, right? So I think we lost 10 morale because of this. Got some runaway slaves. I forgot about this event, or just didn't know it happened. But you do get some of these guys, contrabands. Basically, they're runaway slaves, and what they do is they repair your railroads a lot quicker. So be sure to use those guys. Let's go through the messages here real quick. So transports brought in 1,800 supply. The maximum capacity is 6,000. Oh, Pensacola got a ship. I'll have to go down there, grab that. I wasn't aware of that. We only brought in 16 money this turn. I wonder if the raiders are influencing that. I bet you they are. I bet you the raiders affect the amount of money you can bring in per turn out of the shipping lanes. I'm trying to catch them. I'm sending ships in and out of there, but I'm not getting any actual combat with them. Our armories just got built, so I'll have to see. I checked this turn, and I didn't see any new artillery pieces I could build out of those states, but I'll check next turn, see if maybe it takes a turn to update. While patrolling, someone found Palmer's fleet. Where's that at? Okay. So he was engaged. Interesting. So yeah, it looks like he's trying to get at my transports. So it is important to have a few ships in with your transports, right? I also have him going in and out. So I'm going to keep doing that with him, going in and out of this box, trying to increase the likelihood of getting a engagement with the ships there. Yep. Got several elite divisions or brigades this turn, like I mentioned. Okay, so let's just go over this real quick. Building a lot of stuff here. I haven't really gone with the replacements much at all, because I don't need to. I'm trying to invest in light warships, but it costs a lot of war supply. And I'm hurting on war supply right now. That's why I built those ironworks. So I think that's going to be a theme, at least until we're getting to like mid-62, where war supply is going to be hurting. Which means I'm going to be lacking that 50 extra bucks per turn. And it's going to make it a little tight in terms of making ships, repairing ships, and artillery. There's that. And then we went with Riverpool and Railpool. As you can see here, we're only getting about 146 a turn. And then conscripts, we're still doing really well on that. And money. I did go ahead and build another ship over here. If this was a Saga? Maybe this one. 79 days. This guy right here. So I did 1 a turn. I think I might stop at 3 for now. That's probably a good number to contest the rivers here. Going into 62, we'll see. Kentucky still hasn't flipped sides yet. A little thin at Cairo. He's got a force down here. But it doesn't look like he has artillery, because my fleet is right here and he's not bombarding me. Or if he does, he's not dug in enough yet to fire on him. But I'm going to reinforce Cairo just to be safe. You know, I don't want him to make a move on Cairo or St. Louis, right, while I'm exposed down here in St. Louis, or down in Springfield. I do have a lot of forces being built, but they're not quite ready yet. So we'll see on that. But over here near Springfield, here's the battle that's going to happen next turn. We got Grant moving on Springfield. Here's one of my concerns. When you make these guys divisions, their stats get changed. And I don't know if that's a glitch, or if that is what their stats are for the turn that you turn them into division commanders. You know, almost like a new leadership role where it takes you a little bit to kind of get spun up on things. So during that period of time, you don't really know what you're doing. So I'm a little worried about that he's going to fight like a 3-0-1, and he's going to fight like a 2-2-1, and so forth. Hopefully it's their normal stats. It's just a glitch from making them into division commanders. We'll see. Nevertheless, I do have Grant, who's leading the attack. It's a 6-4, and I have 3 times the power he has. So we'll see. Wonder if he just forgot to turn them into brigades. So it doesn't look like he put those guys under Evans. Yeah, looks like he forgot to make them in division, I think. Interesting. Okay, so that'll be the battle there. I'm kind of holding tight over here. So he's pulling Price back, I think, because he thinks I'm wondering if he thought, and I'd actually like to talk to him on this, is whether he thought Sumner was going to come down and try and take Fayetteville. And so he's pulling these guys back to consolidate, I wonder. But really, I just brought him here to keep him from going to reinforce Springfield. But I'll take it. And probably move him. I'm going to wait a turn. I like having him on the side of the river. I would like to have that fort, honestly, because that would make a nice little move up on Fayetteville later. But here's the reason why I was so aggressive on Springfield this early in the game, and why I find it important for the Union to have. And it's a couple reasons. Number one, strategic. So it serves 2 strategic goals. One, it seals up your western flank from incursions onto St. Louis from Springfield, and then incursions up into northern Missouri and Kansas. If you hold Springfield, it is really hard for the Confederates to make a move north, either on St. Louis or Missouri or Kansas, even on this fort line, because as soon as they get past Springfield, they now have an enemy force in their rear that can cut off their logistical supply or hit them in the rear, right? The Union can reinforce pretty quickly along the rail lines here, and then on top of that, having a force in Springfield. So that's the first reason that really makes it very, very difficult for the Confederacy to make a move on the Union west of the Mississippi. Number 2, it allows you to move down into Arkansas rather than having to rely on the Mississippi to move on Arkansas, which the Confederacy usually does a pretty good job sealing up. It allows you to move on Arkansas from Springfield down into Fayetteville and then down to the river down towards Little Rock. So it's kind of a two-point benefit strategically for the Union. Third, I'm trying to get Lyons and Grant battle experience early so I can make Grant a 3-star and make Lyon a corps commander. And then obviously Hooker, make him a corps commander. Potentially, I need to see what his stats would look like if I made him a corps commander. So that's another reason that I wanted to get a battle early. And then third, hopefully I get a little bit of a morale bonus if I can win this battle. And so that'll benefit me there as well. So those are really the predominant reasons that I wanted to get Springfield in 61. Although it's a tight window, right? Because we got maybe 1-2 turns before winter hits. And, that'll affect things pretty significantly. Here's the change. So that's -10 is from the not taking Manassas in early October, which we knew was going to happen. Okay, so let's run the turn. And see what happens here. I'm going to just check California real quick. Stuff over here. Okay, pretty well dug in. He's still locked. I think, yeah, he's still locked. So, okay. All right, let's go. And of course, he missed his activation roll. Freaking brilliant. Oh, dang it. And he got reinforced. I'm surprised that fort held on as long as it did. I thought Grant missed his activation roll, but maybe it was somebody else over there. It's reinforcing Johnston up there. Yeah, oh, so Grant is moving, so there may be a battle there after all. So it looks like instead of him missing his activation roll, he just got delayed. That's what it looks like. So I don't know if he's going to get there in time for a battle. Wow, I'm losing a lot of troops. He's not losing anybody. Alright, he fled. Whew, good job. Alright, sweet. Heck yeah. Gamble paid off. There we go. Finally. Good amount of action for 1861. Alright, so why did I lose? Oh, probably from losing the fort. Oh, that's stupid. So I get Springfield. I don't get anything for that, but I lose a stupid fort in the middle of nowhere that no one cares about, and I lose morale for that. That's dumb. Alright, so we took Springfield. He fled. He's not quite promotion eligible yet. Here, let's look at the battles here. Yeah, so I lost that fort and I lost a national morale point. That's stupid. Whereas I get Springfield and I get nothing. Anyways. Let's look at that battle breakdown. That was towards the end, right? Yep. So it was only a one-round battle, surprisingly. Huh, I thought it was going on for a little bit longer than that. He must have been maybe not blue-red? Blue-orange, maybe? Blue-green? I don't know. He didn't stick around very long. He just had the 1 Division 294. He did some pretty good casualties considering the numbers, but I just had so many more troops, right? I mean, I think that was the influence there. Alright, so we pushed him out. Now I got to figure out defensive disposition here, because I'm obviously going to hold on to Springfield. I built this fort here to kind of connect it with St. Louis, so I need to figure out who I'm going to keep out here. I'm going to want to, I think I'm going to probably do a coastal attack over the winter, a couple forts, and I'm going to use Grant in line for that, and possibly Hooker. Again, reason being I want to get them promoted, but I also want to increase the blockade on him to further decrease the amount of resources he brings in per turn. Let me see how my shipping is doing here. Only 28 money. Yeah, so I think those raiders in that area are influencing things. Let's see here. We fired on them, so Caroliner's found. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have to replace these guys. I think I'm gonna bolster up this fleet a little bit more. Provide further protection of these transports. Yeah, I think it's what we're gonna do. Alright. Okay, so let me go ahead and do all the movement dispositions and so forth, and then come back and discuss before I run the turn. He's building up here. I don't know if that's to make a move on Kentucky, or if he's possibly thinking about Cairo. I don't know. Not much going on over here at the moment, though. Although he did... Oh, he's got Jackson over here. Makes me wonder if he's thinking about doing a thing over here. It's gonna be winter, though. He'll get stuck over here if he tries to make too aggressive a move. Huh, okay. Alright, let me go ahead and do a bunch of stuff, and I'll be back.
Alright, welcome back. Late October. A few things happen this turn. As the game progresses, I'll probably kind of go into less detail about like small movements and maybe even smaller tiny battles or things that happen just for the interest of time. For instance, like I'll show you what I mean later. So there were a few battles that happened. You might hear my dogs in the background. So there was 3 battles that happened. First one was at Fort Craig, which was here. It went very well for me. Casualties were about the same as far as people getting killed, but I took the rest of his units by them either surrendering. Everything he got destroyed. Sometimes you can capture artillery pieces and wagon trains. I did capture an artillery piece and his wagon train, so that's really good. That keeps me from having to build a wagon and an artillery piece later, because his guys here are eventually going to come down, and that excuse me, that artillery piece is going to be helpful. I'm still trying to decide if all this was worth it. You know, bringing out Shelby, building extra troops out here. It seems like I didn't get the return I wanted to. I lost a lot of people out here, even though the threat's kind of neutralized out here. I'm just not sure if it's worth it, and I'll tell you why later. These guys are hungry. There's no food up here, so right now I'm just trying to get everybody back down here, just so I can resupply them, regain cohesion, and then I'll be starting to march these guys east. You know, it'll probably be springtime before some of them get over there, but that's fine. I'm gonna start marching them east. As far as this threat here, excuse me, this threat here, eventually he'll come down here. He can come through on either this region to this one or eastern Arizona to this region. I'm just going to put some guys in each one and put the bulk of them right here, because I can see if he goes down here. And if he goes down here, I'll just shift him down here, and it's going to be easier for me because it takes him a while to get from here to here. So I think I'll be safe there, and it'll be fine. All the forts are pretty much burnt that I wanted. I think there's one last one. This one out. I'm going to leave that one for now. I'm trying to get this guy over here, because if you see right here, he pushed me out of Springfield. It's not what I wanted. I actually wanted to keep Springfield for like a whole another year, basically, until 1863 if I could. Didn't happen. He brought a lot of people here. I'll show you the battle. the battle itself didn't go horribly bad, but he just had so many numbers, it just pushed me out. Now, there was another small battle in this region here. He did have one of his ranger units here. Which one was it? This one here. I did win it, but lost a lot more casualties, so, I mean, I wouldn't really say that's a win. And in this game, things can't even out for you as the South. Like, you can't win a battle and then lose a battle and say, okay, well, it evened out. No, I mean, you have to win like 3 or 4 to every one you lose, or you ain't even gonna have a chance. Like, it's just hard to win as the South. So the battle at Springfield, pull it up here. Oh, and I did get 1 national morale for that battle out far west. So the way in this game it works, you get national morale for certain things. Like if you destroy a unit, you can get a national morale, and that's really good. He didn't get one for taking Springfield, but he didn't destroy any units. So, I mean, it's something we kind of don't agree on how they dole out national morale and stuff like that, but it's the way the game works. Like if there's a fixed militia unit in a city, somebody comes in and takes it, like they can get a national morale for it, and the city could be strategically worthless at that point, and you just can't get your guy out. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So we'll pull up the battle here. So, if you see, I had a division of 8,474 men. He had 3 divisions of over 25,000 men. Now, if you look at the power force, like even now, like his is 829 with low cohesion, and mine is 369. So, I mean, on power force, it looks like he's got about double the power force when we both have cohesion. But the reason I guess I have a greater power force is because the troop quality. So everybody in my division here are conscripts and above. Conscripts are line infantry. In fact, I'm not sure if any of these are conscripts. Yeah, there's a few of them in here. So these are considered good troops, and he has some as well, but he's got a lot of volunteers in here, which is, I'm not sure if they're better than militia, but if they are, they're only slightly better. And militias can't go toe to toe with infantrymen. Every one of his divisions has them in there, plus some line infantry as well. But it's just the numbers. He's got Grant, who's a 5.64 right now. Lyons, I wanted to say he's got higher stats than that. I think he does. I'm not sure why that shows that, unless I'm thinking of somebody else. Maybe I'm thinking of Fremont. I don't know. He's got Hooker, who's a good general. Now, these stats aren't right either. I think it shows, like, when you first create a division, it, like, cuts the stats in half for some reason, but I think that's supposed to go back up as soon as the turn starts. So, Hooker should be like a 4.42 or something. And Porter's probably like I don't know what he is, but either way, these are good generals. I know Hooker is, Grant is, and they're good attacking generals. So my guys really didn't stand a chance. I may have held on to this area if he just brought like 2 attack general, because my guys down here, they're okay defenders. They do have a 2 rating. That's better than 0 and 1. So it's considered decent, I guess, for defense. However, with that amount of men, he's got his best generals that he has in the game up here right now. I just didn't stand a chance. Plus the terrains, it's clear. It is woods, but when you have better generals with better strategic commands, you can put more units on the front lines quicker, and you just get overwhelmed. Also, this guy over here jumped up in power number, so, and this also hurt me really bad. Like, this fort was supposed to burn. I was supposed to be out of here and back here. Now I'm kind of caught in the situation where, like, I can withstand him coming down here, but if he comes up and links up with him down here and hits me, I don't think I can get him back in time. It would take like it's going to take 2 turns just to get to this region, so it'll probably take 3. And I'm also gambling right here. Like, I just have a cavalry unit in here. In fact, I might change that. I'm going to put a militia unit in there instead because I don't want to lose a cavalry unit. If he comes over and attacks here, he's just going to take it because I got to move this guy out, try to get him here to maybe get there before Grant does if he decides to come. The only good thing I have going for me right now is, it's snowing right here now. Hopefully bad weather will hit in the next turn or maybe the turn after that, and then he'll just be kind of halted, overextended. I think I might be able to hold on here. These are hilled areas. I'll be entrenched, so that's better for me. I'll have a Hardy down here, so I'll have, once I get all these units consolidated down here, even without him, I'll have enough for at least 2 good divisions. Now, if he joins up, that's going to be 4 against 2, but that's better than 3 against 1. So, I'll be able to tell you a lot more about what's going to go on next turn. Like, if he still sits here, which he may, he can't get here in 1 turn. Because I've tried to move my stack up there. It takes at least 2 turns, and he's full cohesion. I know he's down cohesion now, and he just wouldn't make it here in 1 turn. But he could definitely make it in 2. What I can maybe see him doing is coming right here or in this region, and then moving his other division, that region together, and then the next turn hitting me. So I have to move this guy out. And I'm not even sure if he'd make it there in time, although he is a weak division. It's made up of a bunch of volunteers and mounted militia and stuff, but then again, so is his regiment as well. And then I think Hardy would be in charge, and he's got a 1 defense rating. So I mean, I don't know how it would go. I might consider doing hold at all cost. I don't know. And that's the thing about the South versus the North. They can reinforce areas rather quickly. Like, if you see his almost 600 power force here, he could get it there probably within a turn. Now, if I try to bring up reinforcements from over here, it's going to take, I'd have to get them in a ship, or rail them here and get them in a ship, or get them in a ship here, bring them all the way up here. It's going to take, like, I would think 4 or 5 turns at least to get them there. So there's nothing I can do out here. I thought about raising another Arkansas brigade, like a big one, like I did earlier on, but it would take 3 or 4 turns for them to even start to function, and then getting them up here would be 2 or 3 turns. So you're looking at 4 or 5 turns again. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can hold. If he comes at me, I can hold with what I got. There's nothing I can do. And will I hold? I don't know. Will he come? I don't know. I can just hope snow will get here, and hopefully something good happens. He's got a little more power here. I know Halleck is one of the generals who can train up troops. I think he is. So he's probably doing that with some volunteers and stuff here. I think I got enough power here to withhold him across the river, so I'm fairly good on that. Although he might have the pontoon boats. I don't see him in here, but he may have some, and that would help a river crossing as well. I'm bringing an artillery piece up here just to kind of entrench more. I may try to get more Missouri troops out of here. I don't see me taking Springfield back. Unless he just pulls all of his troops out here for whatever reason, then maybe I can go back and take it. But if he just puts a division in here and starts building entrenchments, it's not even worth me going up there. Like, I may be able to push him out. I'd lose a lot of casualties, and I just don't have casualties to give. I think I told you I'm gambling this turn since I'm moving this division here. If he moves over, he's going to take it. I am going to put this cavalry unit back in here and put the militia in there. So there's that. I think he just got knocked out here instead of came here from this battle. Nothing's really happening out here. He does have a lot larger force here. I think he just moved it from here to there, though. I got 973 if he comes at me. I'm I'm confident that he's not going to get anywhere. Same with here. I actually have a little bit higher force. I'm still amassing troops up here. Pretty soon here, though, I need to kind of start forming a division here. I got my cavalry moving around, zipping around places. I got a ship ready here in Wilmington. It can be 2. So this is one of the things I was talking about. Like, I'm just not going to go into in the videos. Like, I got him moving to Charleston. If I got chits in there, I may put another one to try to get the other ship, and then I'll put them out to sea. That's something I'll try to just refrain from putting in the videos, because I mean it's kind of just not that important, I guess. You know, and when, like, every so often I'll have to ship these guys back into the harbor to get more food and cohesion. You know, I'm just not gonna mention that kind of stuff. If there's a naval battle, I'll let you know. I think one thing I'm gonna do, I do have my big force here down in New Orleans. I think I need to get a wagon down here, just in case there is a battle, because you know, having the supply buff does help you. I really don't want to rail it down here, because that's a lot of... I'm trying to conserve rail movement. It costs money to rail stuff around. See how long it would take to get this from Atlanta. I'm guessing 70 days. 123 days. So that's not a viable option. I think I may end up railing one down. Unless I can ship one down. Maybe I can ship one down. Yeah, I might do that. I might take this wagon, bring it over here, and then ship it down. And how many wagons does Johnson have? None. So none there, none there. So I may need to just build a few wagons. I may build one next turn. I think I'll do it in New Orleans here. And I got the war supply money to do it right now. And it doesn't take that many conscripts. So I think I'll just build one, put it down here. Other than that, that is it. I will run the turn, and I will get back with you next turn. Alright, early October 1861. So there was a few things that happened this turn. Some of them I didn't expect. But we'll just start out west like I always do. Like I said last time, I burnt Tucson and I'm getting out of here. There was a battle here at the fort. The game said I won it, but it doesn't seem like a win to me. Let me pull it up here. So it says Confederate victory, my 7,336 men against his 2,937. Now he does have the entrenchment bonus. It says I do too, but I don't think that counts for the attacking force. So I'm assuming that's where he did most of his damage from. It says I won. If you can see here, I mean, his regiments got beat up pretty badly, but his artillery did really well. The thing about artillery in this game, if they're off by themselves, like, they're immune to capture, I guess, unless it's the last thing on the field. So it really doesn't get any hits, I don't think, unless it's in a division. I'm not sure. And his just did outstanding on this turn. So my guys didn't do so well. I mean, the one good, it does say in Confederate victory, but like I said, I don't see why it would do that. I mean, I lost the battle as far as numerical, and he still holds the fort. Now, looking at it, he's got a 39 power force. Now, I've already done, you can enable divisions this turn, so I've already turned him into a division. So next turn, he should take this fort just fine. His 39 power force, I guess if he forms it into a division, maybe a little higher. Let's say it, the most is 100, which I don't think it will be. I still should be fine. Luckily enough, you know, I forgot about this. In the game, every so often you'll get like elite regiments or elite brigades, and the elite cavalry regiment showed up this turn. So if it didn't, I may very well have had to pull out of here. But since it is here, it's like I got a whole fresh brigade of troops, and I'm going to use it. So I'm going to attack again. I'm running low on food. Even if I take this fort, there's probably nothing in here. So I'm going to be hurting on food. I can survive this turn and maybe get back here the next turn, but just to be on the safe side, I'm doing another wagon. Because men lost there is the same as me having to pay for men later. So I can always roll these wagons over east. It'll probably take me a year to get it over there. Or maybe even 2, but I mean, I can still use them later in the game, hopefully. I took this guy out because it really didn't do much for me to keep him in there, because when you form the divisions, you only put so many in a division. I couldn't fit him in there. If I put him in there, Shelby would be like maybe 380 instead of 360. I don't think that's going to make the difference. So I'm trying to pull him back because he's out of food as well. Finally got my militia unit here. I'll probably hold on to this fort a little while longer, especially if I take this fort, because I think he's going to be, there's nothing, he's got nothing coming down here. Maybe a few mounted militia, but I can take care of that. I'm just putting him up here just because he's not going to take the city, because Cav can't take the any kind of cities. You have to have partisans or Cav with artillery or something like that. But still, it'll cut off any reinforcements he's got and get some military control up here, and I might try to get military control here, get some more supply down here. I don't know if it's going to destroy the fort when I take it, assuming I take it. So if it doesn't, I'll probably hold on to it for a little bit. This says I'm at level 2 breach. I really don't know what the difference between a level 1 breach and a level 2 breach is, because I'm pretty sure level 1 breach, it says the structure doesn't provide any defensive benefit. So it says the same thing here, so I really don't get it, unless there's a way for them to recover, or like say I just sat in defensive posture maybe, and I'm not on assault posture, maybe they can repair a breach or something. I don't know. That's actually an interesting question. That might be what this is for. So if I just sat here and on defensive posture, maybe they could repair it and it'd be breach 1 or something. I don't know. That is interesting. I should look that up. Forts are pretty much done in the west. So this is where it's getting interesting as well. For some reason, this fort didn't burn, which is kind of pissed me off, because I don't want them to have it. So therefore, I'm taking the Cav unit out of here, up here, and try to get him in the structure before he can take it and get in, and I'm just moving him back up there, just to make sure I can burn it. The one good thing here is, I guess if they don't have any units here, your Indian general forms here, and he took the fort automatically, so that's a good thing. I'm leaving one here just so he doesn't sweep around with some partisans and take it. I'm not going to burn it yet. I'm just going to leave it be, because I don't think you can get to it with anything substantial anytime soon. I got my commanders here, and of course you see I've put all these into divisions. So here's what's happening. He is moving this down, and that's fine. I don't think he's going to get here, and if he moves in here, I don't think he can overpower this force. Even if he does, I mean, he'll move back here. Here's the thing. He's got a pretty big stack here, and if you can see in there, he's got Grant, the Union General, and that's like the best one on their side. He's got the best stats. So you definitely want him where you're attacking if you're playing the Union. He's also got Lion and Hooker, and they have really good attack stats, so he's coming for Springfield. I don't know at what turn he got in here. I know if I was to move my guy in here, it'd take 9 days, and he's rested though, so I mean, he's got 100% cohesion. I don't know what his cohesion will be and if he'll be able to get here next turn. But he's either going to be here next turn or the turn after that, and there's really nothing I can do. I can't really get reinforcements up there this next turn or the next. I can put some individual units up here, but if I do, I can't. I mean, it's just going to hurt his command penalty. It's not really going to help him that much. So this guy's just stuck here. If he takes it, he takes it. There's nothing really I can do about it. I wanted to hold on to it for at least this winter. I was hoping next winter as well. If he pushes them out, it just is what it is. I'll have to bring him down here to Fayetteville. I'm already burning this fort. I'm going to burn this one. I'll eventually burn this one. If I can bring him down to Fayetteville, even if he gets pushed out and comes down to Fayetteville, I don't think he's going to make a push down here. And if he does, even if he combines these troops, if I've got all I have down here, I think I'll be fine. The question to me was, do I burn this depot? I may change my mind here before I send over the turn. If I burn it, I definitely have to get out. Like I might even survive the battle and win, but I would have to get out unless I use this supply wagon. Like say I win the battle, all these guys have to pull out due to winter or attrition or whatever. I could eventually get this guy up here and build another depot. I just don't know if it's worth it. Maybe it is. I'm sitting here thinking in real time. And if he takes it, thing is he's going to have plenty of money and plenty of supply. He can build a bunch of wagons, so he can get one down here and build another depot. It's really not going to be that much of a problem, though. Although at the beginning of the game, I mean, you try to play this game just every little thing you can to do in your favor. So if it makes him waste a wagon, then that's good. But like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do here. I know he's not going to have any supply. There's a little bit of ammunition in there, but there's no food supply when he gets here. But looking at him, he's got 3 supply there. He's got plenty of supply. He's got, looks like 3 or 4 artillery pieces. Got plenty of cavalry. Just plenty of troops. So, and you just look at the power numbers. So there is no command penalty here. So this is bigger than it showed last turn, just because it's a stronger power force when you don't have the command penalty. It just happened, and he hasn't done his half of this turn yet. I'm going to send it over to him, so this number here is going to go up. I would imagine over 1,000 probably, and that's 2 to 1. I mean, I am entrenched level 4, but he's just got the best attack commanders here, and these guys aren't horrible. Their defense is 2. Well, that shows 1 because when you start a division, it does that for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But Winder here is in charge anyway. He's 3-2-2. I'm very pessimistic about me holding on to this. But it's fine. If you don't know about me, I'm very competitive. So this bothers me. I want to win this game. So me and Tim have played 2 full games. We played a few before that, not all the way through, because we were trying to just kind of get a feel for the game, and try to just see how everything works and whatnot. And the first game I played as the South. I won. Now we were playing just national morale. I ended up winning in I think early 64. If I remember right, almost 80% of the casualties happened here in eastern Tennessee. A lot of fighting went on right here. Him with Grant kept we were just fighting in this area a lot. He ended up moving Grant up here and then attacking across the river here with his force, and his whole army got demolished, and he lost due to national morale. Um, so I ended up winning that game, and of course I won the last game on the last turn when I took Washington. So I'm 2-0. I mean, I try not to give them too much crap about it, but it is fun. But now that we're playing the victory points as well, I just don't see the South winning any game because I mean we're both kind of seasoned players, but and there is a lot we don't know. Like we learn stuff about the game all the time. There's stuff we haven't figured out yet, but I'd say we know a lot more than the average player. Um, so I just don't see the South winning from here on out, especially with victory points. Like if I wouldn't have took Washington last game, I was already way ahead on victory points. Like if you're in 64 or 65 and you took Atlanta, New Orleans, you're just building up those victory points. You can just sit there. You don't have to take Richmond. You probably wouldn't even have to take Atlanta if you get a lot of these strategic points, and you can just sit there. And you got so many troops. You're entrenched. There's nothing they can do really. I'm moving Johnson up here. One thing I don't like about this game is they gave Johnson a 2 attack stat. I don't really think that's fair. Like I know he only commanded one battle and it was half a battle. It was the first day of Shiloh, but he won that battle because he didn't make it. He won that day essentially as an attacker. I don't know why they give him just a 2 rating. He ended up getting shot and killed. So he's got a 1 defensive. I don't know what they base that off of because I don't recall him being in any big battles besides Shiloh. So I guess they just gave him a 1, but I think they should at least gave him a 3 attack because he did win that first day, and who knows what would have happened the second day. You never know, or the rest of the first day. So I don't necessarily agree with that, but that is what it is. Over here, he's going to take this in a turn or two, most likely, and that means this is the only region I'm going to be able to get Missouri troops out of. So I'm guessing if he takes this, he's got to kind of, with this guy here, he's got to kind of have an idea of what I've got down here. If he takes this and, he pushes me out, and even unless he just demolishes the army, he knows I'm going to entrench back here. I would imagine if he takes this, he's going to move his troops over, or he's going to try to take this area. That way I can't get any more troops out of Missouri, which is not the end of the world. I mean, at the end of the game, I don't think you can raise all the troops anyway, even as the South. Towards the end of the game, you can't really raise anything. You're putting all your money into replacement chits. So it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I'm moving Johnson up here. I'm going to be taking Bowling Green as soon as Kentucky turns. I see him probing me with his ships. He's got one down in New Orleans. He had one in Richmond the other turn. I don't know how much he's going to see. He does have 30% loyalty here, so he can probably see quite a bit of what I got down here. He may attack me here, but if he does and takes it, I mean, he's going to have to bring a lot. I put him into a division. I've got a couple other commanders down here. I'm going to make take him out. I'm going to leave him out of the division and just have him in charge of the other 2 divisions. So I'll have 2 divisions here. For right now, that should be fine. West Virginia, nothing really happening. You can see all these lines here in Virginia. I'm moving around a bunch of stuff. Of course, I made the divisions. This whole force here is like 1 division. It is a full division, but it's just a 1 division. I'm moving some of these guys in there. I'm going to try to build up 2 divisions there. Beauregard, as you see, is 1876. He's 1244. Now, if that was the real case, I'd attack him probably like a conservative attack next turn, but he's going to form his division, so I would imagine he'll be at about 1700 power here. It's just not feasible to go over there and attack them entrenched. Because Beauregard and Johnson, they're not really that great of an attacking generals. They're pretty good defensive generals. So you just can't do anything with them right now. So I'm moving some of these pieces around because you want to get a good division setup. So typically you want a sharpshooter. You only need one. If you put 2 sharpshooters in there, it doesn't give you any more benefit. But you do want to have a sharpshooter in each division. For defense, your divisions, or at least what I think, is just 1 or 2 cav, 3 or 4 artillery, and the rest infantry. Now, if you're on the offensive, some people, and I'm one of them, I think it's a better idea to just have artillery divisions by themselves, and then just have infantry and 1 or 2 cavalry, if you can. That's not going to happen all the time because a lot of the brigades that are formed have an artillery piece in them already, and you just can't extract them. So that's a little frustrating sometimes, but there's nothing you can do about that. I don't know. He did have his ship up here last turn. I don't know if he knows I'm weak right here right now. He could probably land something in either one of these regions or both and just take it easy. The only thing I could really do is maybe get like a strong division and go try to push them out, maybe, or I don't know what I'd do, because I can't pull much off the front lines here. What else? Put some more money into the rail. Keeping an eye on casualties here. It's just, I kind of like doing that. He's lost 1,200 men. I took 100 prisoners, so effectively 1,300 men on his side, and I've already lost 1,899. And it doesn't show you how many prisoners they took, so I don't. Either way, I'm losing on casualties right now. I was really hoping that battle would go a lot better out here than it did. I mean, I expected to take some casualties, probably, maybe even more casualties. I didn't expect him to hold out for that turn, though. If he holds out this next turn, then I don't know what I can do, because I guess I could attack again. I am building a wagon, so I mean, I guess I'll be fine. I need to get him out of here. I need this win, and I'll be really happy if I can hold on here. I have no doubt he's going to attack. He's not going to send all this force out here with the best generals to just do nothing. He's going to attack. So if I do lose the battle, hopefully I cause a lot of casualties and just kind of retreat intact, and I'll just fall back into Fayetteville. So that's the best, I guess, that can happen. Still got plenty of money. Just hurting on conscripts right now. Oh, I don't think I mentioned last turn. He printed money. I've never printed money. I'd rather take the 2 morale hit, because printing money hurts your inflation. Like for war bonds and taxes, you get -1 inflation, which is real good for your economy. Things are cheaper to buy. I don't know why he printed money, because it raises your inflation by 4. I'll have to ask him why he did that. Like, I never print money. Like, I understand sometimes as the South it's needed late in the game because your inflation skyrocketed anyway and you just have to have the money. But as the Union, I don't understand why you would ever print money. So I want to kind of get his reasoning on that. I'll find out later. Something else I wanted to mention. What was it? I'm not sure what it was. Maybe I'll think of it next turn. But anyway, I'll send this over to Tim, and I'll see you next time.